In Ghana here, it's amazing how we're living.
It is.
Because imagine you're paying 2 years in advance. How?
Somebody else is ready to pay today. We think that they are bluffing.
There was molding mastic around the shower area. The walls were grubby. Clearly, they've not even done anything after the last tenant.
Third road?
Third road, I want a property that is close to the roadside. And then when I ask you what your budget is, you tell me your budget is 2,000. Cantonment is quoting in
$1.
You know, most agents are not powerful. They're usually old.
But what's that?
That's how he selected his agent.
What's that got to do with anything? He was buff, so you're like, okay, I'm going with you.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of The Home Front. I am joined today by George, my co-moderator as usual. Today we're going to be discussing horrible experiences with agents. So today I have a client stroke, someone who was looking on the rental market. And I also have an agent with me, Ruth, who's going to give us her perspective from the agent side. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Before we get into that, I want to know a bit about both our guests.
I agree.
And I'll start with Ruth. Tell us a bit about you, Ruth.
So my name is Ruth. I am with Sheltermat Properties, Ghana. We are into real estate, brokerage, sale, anything real estate, we are.
Where is it located?
Our main head office is located at Kwashiman, just at the same building with EcoBank, and then our Spintex office is at Coastal.
Okay.
Yes, Manet. Coastal Estates around Manet, yes.
Okay. And how long have you been in the industry?
We've been here for 11 years. Yes, we've been in the industry for 11 years. We do management, facility management, brokerage, sale, property valuation,
the whole shebang,
etc.
Nice. What about you, sir?
So yes, my name is Yao Buidu Aibafo, but everybody calls me NYB. I'm
NYB?
Yes, NYB.
Okay.
I'm a music executive around my own talent agency.
Oh.
So yes, that's basically what I do.
Nice. Okay. Anybody that we would know that you manage?
Oh, well, for most of them, I've worked with Mr. Drew before.
Who's Mr. Drew?
Mr.
Sorry,
Drew.
I'm old school, so I don't know. Do you know Mr. Drew? Would you know Mr.
That doesn't mean anything.
Do you know Mr. Drew?
I don't know anybody.
Ruth, do you know Mr. Drew?
The guy who...
Yes, the guy who dances.
He does what? He dances.
Yes.
Okay.
He has big songs. He's like one of the top acts from Ghana. So yes.
Okay. Ruth, you seem to be on point too.
Maybe if he helps us with some of his songs. I know he likes dancing that way.
Definitely.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, so what influenced your decision in using an agent for your home search?
Well, for me, to be honest, is the ease. Okay. It's basically that's basically it. I'm not one to move door to door. I just want to get everything done simple. So that's the main reason I approach an agent, to facilitate the whole discovery of getting a place.
But you know something? Is there any other way to get a property, to buy or rent a property without using agents?
Well, there's always word of mouth or a friend of a friend.
Okay.
Yes, it's always there. But an agent gives you a wider range of properties to look at rather than just the word of mouth.
Okay.
I think also like even Google searching, if you see a particular property, you can Google the developer and see what other properties they have on their portfolio. Most of the buildings these days are named and labeled. So some people might even approach directly, go to the security post, have you got anything in here for rental, for sale? And then they can direct you. I don't think it necessarily has to be through an agent.
How do you identify the agent then? Like, how do you know which agent to go with?
Like, what made you pick the agent that you went with?
Well, let me break it down to the grassroots level.
Okay.
Usually, when you move around town, you see a lot of numbers around. So that's basically what most people use. Sometimes you might try to use the online platforms.
Okay.
And those ones still direct to an agent, or probably a friend used an agent who they are recommending. So these are like the ways.
Okay, so the numbers that are posted on the things that.
Plenty. I think every area has one.
Okay.
Yes.
I've never even thought to look at, but who do you stop to?
So the
take
thing is that
numbers
when I see property for sale or for rent, usually there's a number on there,
Okay,
and I'll
true.
stop. And I've personally never called it.
True.
I always either take a picture and then have Dennis check it out.
But is that for an agent or specific to the property? I always assumed that.
No, apparently most of
times
them are
it's
for the
agent.
agents. Yeah, because I think the
Interesting.
agents claim that particular situation,
Right.
and they, yeah. So
Okay. Interesting. What was your first impression of the agent that you dealt with, and did it change as the process went on?
Well, I think the initial conversations are usually easy to have. They are more welcoming. I think they're trying to just.
Of course, they want their money.
Get you in, but sometimes as time goes on, it becomes a bit frustrating, especially when you're not getting what you're actually looking for, and you have to go to multiple places, and it becomes a whole stress. Because the only reason I'm coming to an agent is I want ease. So if I have to be moving around 5 apartments, sometimes even more, is stressful.
But don't you want to go through all that they have to see what suits you?
Well, ideally, I should be, but sometimes the locations, you're moving from different parts of town and all that, it's very stressful. Especially for someone who has limited time like I have, it's really not ideal.
Let me ask you, Ruth, how does it go when a client comes to you, I want to buy or rent? What is the process like? How do you go about showing somebody like NYB?
Talk us through the process from
Yes.
So, thank you. So usually, if you're dealing with an agent, an individual agent, their processes are different.
Sure.
If you're dealing with an established institution, the processes are different. So when you call in, usually, if in my company we have a process where probably you've seen some of our online listing, you go through the property, your number is already registered on the property you had a look at. So there we have the front person or the business development person. She picks up your number. She gives you a call to ask you. You view the property of ours. Are you interested? Do you want to buy or do you want to rent? Are you interested in that property? You want us to get you a property. Maybe that property you looked at is not available. So then we'll tell you that we have other properties that might suit your need that are available. So we just have to confirm if the property is available, still on the market, or has been rented out. So we take your request. We don't just throw anything at you. We'll ask you, what do you want? What areas do you want?
Okay.
So you give us the areas that you want. Usually clients will come out giving you 2 locations. But maybe those 2 locations, your budget might not suit those locations. So that is where we come in to advise. That, okay, could you give us broader locations, like maybe 3 or 4 locations that we can help you get some properties from there. But if you give us 2 locations, that is where we'll take you around. Like, usually when an agent takes you out, they're supposed to show you like 3 or 4 properties on your first meeting for you to see. And remember that we don't know what you want. You told us what you want. So when we take you out, we get a broader look at what you want. So you say, okay, I don't like this. This didn't sit well with me. The area wasn't good. The road wasn't good. Then we know exactly what you want. So we are picking from there. We are picking what your likes are, what your dislikes are. Then our next, maybe all the 4 properties you've seen didn't suit what you've showed us, what you've told us before. Then now we know exactly what you want. So in our next options, we build on it.
But here's the thing. Okay, so I'm paying for the service. I'm paying for you to show me.
But let's just with that.
Sure.
I believe that with some, so for yourselves, do you take a viewing fee, for example? Because some people don't.
What is a viewing fee?
So.
No, what did you go through that?
Yeah, so basically for them to take you through to see the places, you need
A
to
lot
pay.
of one-man bands do that.
So you pay every house?
Not every house,
You
but I
pay
think for
every
the
house.
for the day or for like a couple of hours that you spend to view the
Right.
houses.
It doesn't work like that. I don't know the agents.
So that's what I'm
with.
saying. So I know that there are different modes that this thing works. That's
Okay.
why when you said you haven't started paying for anything yet.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? You will do when you get to a certain stage, but you might also go through this whole process without having spent
But
anything.
you know something? So from my perspective, let's say I'm assuming I'm from the agent's perspective, right? You get people wasting your time a lot, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
So I think the reason why they want some sort of compensation for
Yes,
not wasting their
it's
time.
commitment, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's commitment on
That's
your
what I was
part.
going to say. It's a commitment fee. It's not a moving fee. Okay, from my company, Sheltermat, it's a commitment fee. Sorry,
How
a
much
fee
is
that
your
would take
commitment
200 cedis.
Okay.
Some people
But do
take
you
more than
reimburse that?
Yes, I was going to get to that. So when you pick the property in question, when you go for the property, after making payments on your commission, we deduct that 200 cedis that you paid as commitment fee back to you. Because your commitment fee is just to tell you that you are with us, you are moving with us. Not like we'll take you the whole day, then we keep moving the whole day, then...
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, the money bit for the viewing fee or the commitment or however you want to address it is basically to make sure that your time is not wasted. Is that correct?
If you put it that way,
That's what it is.
it means that you're still, we are moving with you, we are working with you. Because even if you look at the properties that we are going to take you on, we are doing more than 4 properties. And until you get a property that you settle with.
But what if you don't,
That's what I was about to say.
You can't give me the property.
Then you lose your money.
Ha!
But
Have you considered that the
here's my
agent
thing.
is also taking you around?
Right. But
Are you
here's my
driving?
thing.
Are you
around,
driving with a
John.
Lexus
It
600 air
doesn't
conditioned
matter.
and the back of leather, all that stuff?
It doesn't
We are
matter.
working, you know. You can end up with a client the whole day. The whole day. A client can take your
sometimes-
whole day.
But what about the case where you have a specific property that I wanted to see? Maybe you've got, let's just say, for example, 10 properties. The other 9, not really interested in. None of them are in the location that I'm looking for. But there's one in the location that I'm looking for, and it actually looks decent. But we go, I've paid my commitment fee, we go, and it's just not, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But I'm not interested in the rest. That I basically paid that 200 cedis to look at one property, in effect.
Yes.
So that's the issue that I think a lot of people have when they're going to, using the agent system. And don't get me wrong, I get it, because again, it's your time, it's your fuel, I get it. But I'm just saying, from the other perspective, sometimes it does take multiple agents, and if you have to pay that commitment fee 6 times because all the other agents didn't have what you wanted, that's how it works.
But you can actually move with just one agent and they can actually get you what you want.
Sure, if the agent is ready to work.
Definitely.
Not every agent is. So that would involve him contacting some of his contacts, or reaching out to other people that they have seen who might have those things. But some people also take it as like, I'm not going to go and split commission with somebody, or why should I? You didn't like the one that I showed you. So you have to also know who you're working with.
So what kind of agent did you use?
Oh, not hair type.
So you did the
You used a one-man band type of person.
Well, technically,
That's what you used.
yes.
So how was the experience like? What was your impression? The first impression?
First impression.
Yeah.
No, the first time I met the guy, like one particular guy, I met him in a boutique. He was buff, and I'm like,
Well, what's that?
That's how he selected his agent.
What's that got to do with anything?
oh,
He was buff, so you were like, okay, I'm going
I
with you.
guess they spoke, and then he introduced himself, and then you realized he was an agent, no?
oh yeah, we spoke then. I think we went to some few places.
No, but wait. The buffness, what has that got to do with?
You know, most agents are not buff. They're usually old.
Really? I don't know about that. I don't think so.
Oh, the one-man people. Oh, I'll be surprised.
Really?
Yes. Have you been? You know, I don't think you've used them before.
Oh, I have. And I've not experienced
Or maybe the areas you used them.
But this guy was young but buff. You were like, okay, you're a guy. G.
Like Charlie, the
Bekoye.
agent guy.
Okay.
Okay.
And then what happened?
Oh no, so I saw the places, but they weren't like what I was looking for.
What was the issue? Because I'm guessing you gave him a brief of what you were looking for, and he selected these properties for you. So what were the issues that you found?
Oh, for me, I wouldn't say issues. I just didn't really like the places.
Location or the physical aesthetics of the place?
Location was good, but I think physical aesthetics. I think I'm very picky when it comes to where I'm going to lay my head. Okay. So I guess.
But you're not picky with your agent.
Oh, sometimes you get what you are not asking. When you're at a point where, let's say, you are desperate a bit.
Sure.
You try and go with the person who could easily aid you to get what you want.
But I think that's another problem as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people wait till the last minute to rent, or they're moving from one situation, a desperate situation, and they're looking for another fast fix, and so they don't have enough time.
But at the same time, agents too, if you tell them that I need this property in 1 month's time, to be honest, they're not really interested, because number one, the people that they are working for example, or who have given them property, they want rental today, not in a month's time. So you're not really a priority for them unless they already know of a property that is about to come up or become available. But too much time also doesn't also work in your favor.
But what I'm saying is that, so you know that.
Or am I lying?
You know that.
I don't think that's always the situation.
I'm assuming like you know that, okay, my rental agreement ends in December.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong maybe in October or in August.
Searching.
You know what? I don't want to renew my agreement. So let me start looking for a place that I want.
That you're going to commit to now? Or
Yeah, because you need somewhere to stay.
Sure.
Right? So why wait till December?
So that
to start looking.
Needs to be available and empty, and so you're going to pay now, commit now, but the owner should lose 2 months rent.
To be very honest with you, I think that's how I would go about it.
No, that's the right way to go about it. I just don't know if Ghanaian landlords are doing that, to be honest.
No, but the thing is that if you know that, okay, you want a place in December, right, and the place is going to be available in December, why don't you okay, money is a problem as well, I get it. But you plan.
You should.
Right?
You should.
So why wait till December?
I'm not saying wait till December. I'm just saying, like, the gap shouldn't be that big. I can
bet my bottom CD.
Yeah.
That is what NYB did.
Is that what you did? I'm defending.
No, so this is the experience. So let's say I was searching for a new place last year. I think I started early. I think last 3 months to the due date.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Let's say the owners or the agents the agents are working for the owners want their money there and then, and it starts there and then. So let's say if my rent is due December and I'm supposed to find a house in October, they want the rent to start October. And that's and that's me.
Who's doing that?
And that's me losing 3 months of not staying in that place.
I get it.
So that's what the issue
middle,
is.
I'm sure.
I get it.
It's not in all situations.
Oh, that one.
There are exceptions. You can
absolutely, there's exceptions.
You can start looking for a property in 3 months, and then at the end of the 3 months, you might not even get a property that you want.
Yes.
There might be options, but they actually don't suit what you want. And then you can actually be looking for a property in 3 days and you get something today.
Yeah.
It varies. It depends on what you want and then the availability of what is on the market. And when you say clients are not the priorities of the agents, I beg to differ a little, because in as much as you tell us you want 1 month, 1 month is enough time. 1 month might also not be enough time for the client, because first you have to consider that the client goes to work. So they might only be available from periods of later 5 in the evening or only on weekends. So it means we only have 4 weekends in the month to deal with the client. So that's like 4 days in a whole month. So the 1 month you are talking about, I might have gotten options that the clients should come and have a look, but because the client has to go to work, so we only have 4 days in the whole month for you to see the property.
So Ruth, you know something? I have a question. And I have a question for you and for you. I've experienced this.
Okay.
You call you see a property for rent or for sale.
Okay.
And then you call the number, you call the agent that has listed the property. Okay. The agent tells you, oh, you know something, I'm not available now.
Oh.
Okay, that's fine. All right, but can I still see the property? Is it a rule that I can't see the property without the agent?
Depends.
Two things. After the client goes to see the property, you know that the commission, let me come in here. The agent's commission is also what they get paid.
Yeah.
That is their
Bread and
remuneration at the end of the month.
Okay.
So if I tell you where the property is, what is the probability that you won't go looking for the owner of the property without telling me that you went to look for the owner of the property, and then you go right behind the agent?
So the reason why they do that is because
you have to get paid.
Yeah, but if I go look at the property and I want it, I'm still going through you.
No,
Would
not
you go
necessarily.
through
You're
me?
honest.
Or
but
you
let's just
go
say
through
you go to the property and
Owner.
the owner happens to be there.
Yes.
And you're like, I really want this property. Even the owners, sometimes they're also paying you a commission. So
Yeah,
they'll be
so
like,
they'll be
let's
just
cut a deal.
cut
So the
the
agent
agent
loses
out.
on both sides. And then
Exactly.
also the owner doesn't have to pay a commission and the client
You also
doesn't
don't have to pay
commission.
commission.
So
Okay.
it happens all the time.
But that I'll be honest with you, that shit is annoying.
But you know, another thing is, I don't know about the agents out there, but for my company, you can book to see a property today, and then you want to see the property today. Unless you are saying, I want to see the property today, but can I do later in the day? Means you called in the morning.
To give you
So we
time.
have to verify from the owner, can we get access to the property? Is there someone available to open the property?
Ruth,
for
let me
us
tell you
to
something.
see?
So I was desperate. You weren't desperate. I was desperate. And I called an agent, arranged to see this property in Laboni.
Okay.
We got to Honeysuckle,
Okay.
waiting for the agent to come. The agent came. I was in my car. She was in her car for like 20 minutes waiting. And so I finally asked, what is happening? And then she was like, oh, the caretaker is not there. I was like, okay, no problem. I want to see the house, just where the location of the house was. Like,
She can't show you.
why?
It means that the property wasn't her direct. She saw a property on her colleague's platform, or a colleague has what she wanted. She had to ask, do you have something like, maybe at that time she doesn't have the option for you.
So
And then you
why
said you
can't
were
agents
desperate.
be truthful and honest? I
That's
know we
true.
try and throw the beer.
That's true. That's true. So I understand that part. Sometimes we might not have the property.
Yeah.
Then we have to ask other colleagues. So that is where you need to pre-inform. You need to make arrangements. You need to make sure that, okay, we are meeting at 2. The clients will be coming at 2. Please, the clients will be coming at 2. We have an agreement. I'll be there at 1:30.
So you know what she ended up doing? I was like, okay, you know what? Let's at least go and see the place. She was like, okay, let's go. And then she just drove off.
Oh.
I was just like, is it a scam? What is happening?
She drove off.
That's so crazy.
She was actually in an Uber. She was in an Uber car and she just drove off.
Wow.
And in my head, I'm like,
Please, we're sorry for you, okay? We're sorry. We're apologizing on that.
honestly, Ghana real estate agents, honestly.
So usually you have to make arrangements with the owner
Of
so that they
course.
make the keys available. Because at the end of the day, the owner is renting the apartment, but that doesn't mean
He's
the owner is
living
going
there,
to be
sitting
home,
there, absolutely.
waiting. So we need to make arrangements. I'll be there with the client at 2:00 on Wednesday. Please, is there anybody who will be able to open the facility for us to enter?
Sure.
And then you see it. So arrangements needs to be
Ruth,
made.
I want to ask you, have you had experiences with clients who had unrealistic expectations? A lot.
What do you-
Give us some.
what is a lot?
A lot. Like, so firstly, before you ask your agent for a property or options, or before you make a call to your agent, you need to know exactly what you want.
But isn't that what I'm paying you for?
But you need to know what you want, because I'm going to ask you questions. So usually, when your call comes in, or when we see when you go through a property that you've seen, it goes to a colleague of mine, and then she'll ask you, okay, I'm going to forward you to a broker who would attend to you. So when I call you, I'm going to ask you, what do you want? Okay, I want a 2-bedroom. What location? But most importantly, I'm going to ask you, how much budget,
What's your
do you
budget?
want to work with? Or how much are we working with? So you tell me what your budget is. And based on your budget, you give me location. Then you tell me, okay, let me just give you a very nice scenario. Like, I want 2-bedroom at Laboni. Firstly, you need to understand that in this business, we have prime locations in Ghana.
Here we go
Prime
again.
locations.
We've had
this conversation.
Here we
There
go
are prime
again.
locations, and then there are areas that are not prime. Prime
Right.
locations are areas that everybody wants. Cantonment, Laboni, Osu,
It's not
Chado.
even just the demand, it's the value that the area
Those
demands.
areas,
commands,
exactly.
Yeah.
So you are telling me you want a 2-bedroom at Cantonment. You want AC.
My
You
budget is
want water,
1,500.
water heater. You want this, you want that, you want good road, third road. In Ghana, most of our
People
roads
actually come
are
up.
not
People require
Yes,
tarred
I want
roads.
third road. I want a property that is close to the roadside. And when I get home, I just cross to the roadside and I pick a car and I like, please. And then when I
Wow.
ask you what your budget is, you tell me your budget is 2,000. Cantonment is quoting in
$1.
not even dollar. The dollar they'll still tell you to convert it to cedi, maybe 15,000, maybe 10,000. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's the price, but then you give me a 2,000 budget. When will we get it? Or two? I want
Where
chamber
will you
hall.
find it?
Realistically, you want a chamber hall in Chado. You want something nice. You want third room.
Wow.
You want something close to Mohammed's house. You want something close to Ekufado's office. And your budget is like, I don't know.
In that situation,
And then when
what do
I
you
advise
do?
you, so I'll advise you.
Okay.
The area you picked.
How do you break that to me?
I would definitely
I
say-
believe in my 2,000 cities
so
that I've worked
so
for.
that we all don't get disappointed
Okay.
and don't waste each other's time. I'll tell you the truth. That is how we work.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you the truth. The area you've picked is a no-go area. And so,
Budget is not
Enti
reaching.
Emfa.
either sell this can be back and
Or
now
move
say
locations.
you picky locations for front.
Period.
But so see, that is the same place I want. Then please, we need to do something about the budget. Otherwise, we are going to waste each other's time. And the 3 months that you are talking about will end up being 1 year, or you
So-
might end up renewing.
So what if someone has said, my budget is the 2,000, they've seen the house next door to this house, and you're telling them the budget isn't working, but I still want to see the house. Would you go?
I'll go.
You'll go.
I'll take you. So that you see that I'm not lying to you.
Sure.
So we'll go see the house.
Sure.
And if possible, if the owner of the house is there, because we usually don't add additional money to what the owners of the house have told us that they are taking.
Yeah.
So it would be very nice for the owner of the house or the owner of the property to be around and tell you that, okay, this is how much I'm actually taking, so that you don't think the agent has inflated the price, because some clients think agents pick the property and inflate the price and add their own to it and
But
all
there's
that.
contracts, no? Wouldn't the price reflect in the
Exactly.
contract that the landlord has to sign?
But sometimes, the clients, sometimes they don't think
That
far that,
Sure.
okay, at the end of the day, the contract would have the sum total of the amount
Exactly.
in the tenancy agreement.
Exactly.
So right there, no agents or they need the account or they need the account, clients own any number. So we all go together.
I get it. Anna, did you ever experience this? Like throughout your trials, finding a space, did an agent bring another client to a viewing?
Right. Yes, I think there's something similar that I experienced.
So wait, you were going for a viewing, and
It's
they
killing
brought-
two birds with one stone.
Is that allowed?
It's not actually. It's
Is it not
advisable.
allowed? I mean, I think that, I don't want to be on a viewing with somebody, but if the person happens to show up at the same time, or, but the agent should
But
have
I've paid you my
organised your
viewing
time.
fee.
It can
No,
happen.
but you're still viewing.
It
Are you
can-
not viewing?
But it can happen that way if their times conflict. So maybe
Yes.
both
Maybe
of
the
them are
person
seeing
was
the same
late.
property.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to come and view yours at 12 and you're supposed to come and view yours at 2. And then you delayed and came at 1.
Right.
And the person who's supposed to see their property at 2 also comes to the property, but you were already there.
Sure.
And the person is early.
Charlie.
Yeah,
Agents, wouldn't it be?
But I have this theory. too.
That's the truth.
But I have this theory when it happens. I feel like sometimes,
It's tactical.
yeah, it's tactical to put a bit of pressure on you to realize
So
that
you'll know
this
other
property,
people want it.
other people too want them. So if you want to actually have it,
No,
then
but for me, I wouldn't see it that way. Personally, I think I wouldn't feel special
Exactly, that was what I was going
So
to say.
I would either opt not to see it.
At all.
Yes, because why am I seeing a property with another person? Like, no.
You need to give the client room to like feel, move around,
and have conversations surrounding budget and things that don't
and then
concern
they
another
talk
party.
to you. You know, that way you've already built a certain relationship with the client.
Yeah.
So they trust you at this point. They are open. They are talking to you.
Exactly.
So when someone else is there,
It ruins that.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever visit a property and recognize that the photos that the agent showed online were misleading? Because this happens.
Oh, it happens. It happens.
Did the buff bole guy do
Oh, it happens. I don't know. I guess sometimes the images that you see are typed up. But when you
Or they're the images from when the property was first built 10 years ago.
You get, and it's still they're not updated, and they haven't really done any renovation and stuff. So you go there and you feel a bit disappointed, like that's not what I saw.
But why would you be disappointed though? Because when you're posting images on social media, you do touch up.
Yeah.
No, we're not talking about. Here's the case. I'm going to tell you what happened when I went with my friend one time. So we went to a property, and they online we saw really nice pictures of a brand newly furnished apartment. Everything was, the walls were still white. Everything was new. And when we got there,
Catfish.
complete it was clearly the same apartment, but it was a clear catfish. There was molding mastic around the shower area. The walls were grubby. Clearly they've not even done anything after the last tenant. This was just, it was an absolute no-no. But the person would argue, like, it's the same place.
Wow.
But yeah, I think that sometimes agents even use that to get clients in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's fine if you just want to get them to call, so you tell them other things that you have, but not if you're trying to convince me that the conditions of the property are the same.
I'm not going to say that doesn't happen. It happens.
It definitely happens.
It does.
It definitely happens.
Are you allowed to tell your clients what your commission is beforehand?
Yes.
You have to.
Sometimes the client will tell you, I don't want...
Which commission? The commission that the client is taking, or the commission that the viewer is paying, or the owner is paying them?
No, the thing is that, so I'm hiring you to find me a property, right? Are you required to tell me
You have
the commission you're making?
So with us at Shelter Mats, what we usually do is, the moment you say, okay, after sending you the options and then you show interest in the property, I'll share with you our terms of engagement. And in the terms of engagement, it's clearly stated there that whatever property you pick, so commission will be paid at the end of the day. So
was that your experience?
Oh yes, I think that's one of the few things that they are always forward about 10%.
They want to make sure this is
10%
not going to be a problem.
Of, let's say, the total rent you are paying. So if you are paying, let's say, in this economy, 2 years, I mean that's 10% of the 2-year rent you are paying.
By the way, let me ask this. Is that thing, okay, I've heard some people say it's legal, some people say it's not legal. The 2-year rent advance, is it legal in Ghana? Like, are you supposed to collect 2 years rent advance?
I wouldn't want to commit
On the legislation of it all.
But there is some legislation.
You know, the industry itself...
There is?
The industry itself is not really regulated.
At all.
Okay.
It's not even that it's really. It's not regulated. The regulation doesn't exist.
They're putting systems in place to make sure that even agents are the ones.
But I disagree. There's rent control.
There is rent control, but are the regulations working?
Okay, so what is the rule? Like, are you required to pay advance, or you're required to pay month to month, or what is out there?
Month to month in Ghana, unless it's a furnished apartment.
Okay.
You can do month to month, but on furnished apartment, I don't think.
There's a lot of developers who have serviced apartments that they take
month to month
rent.
But my thing is that, so is there
even unfurnished?
Is there a thing where is there a rule that you have to pay 2 years rent advance?
If you're a nursing there, but you also I'm seeing there, man, just go be out and see.
Okay.
So I'm person meji na meji.
Until Uji 2 years rent advance. Oh yeah, 2 years rent advance.
Or me 1 year. We were able to come to a consensus.
You did 1 year rent.
Even
Yeah,
1 year, well,
year.
depending on the rental amount, it's a big stretch.
Yo, listen, in Ghana here,
huge
it's amazing how we're living.
It is.
Because imagine you're paying 2 years in advance. How?
You haven't even stayed the stay yet, but it's being paid.
How?
So usually we try to speak to the owners that 1 year, please.
But even 1 year.
Can I also just say on the flip side, in other countries, when someone stops paying their rent, there are actionable things that are not so time consuming that can be done to, like for evictions and things like that. I feel like landlords as well, from a landlord perspective, those things do not work as well as they should.
Oh no.
Like,
no.
if your tenant
Hannah,
stops paying,
Hannah.
if your tenant stops, George, if your tenant stops paying rent right now, okay, we're 1 month behind. He said he was going to pay, he hasn't paid. We're 2 months behind. What is the process that you, as a landlord? I'm asking.
In Ghana here,
I'm asking.
they will put your stuff out.
Not with a tenancy agreement. You can't.
Yes, you can.
You cannot.
But you know the tenants can actually
cannot.
leave without you knowing. They can leave.
And where are you going to chase him for your rent?
They'll put your keys under the
Where are you going to
carpet.
get the missed 3 months rent from?
And then you call the.
And
I
they're
had
not
a
picking up.
situation
They've
like
already
that.
moved to their new place to go and do the same thing over
So
there.
what do you think will happen if I own the building? It's my building.
Yeah.
You're not paying me. You have an agreement. You've not paid.
A certain amount of time would have lapsed before you can even begin any type of procedure. And then where are you taking it to? You're going to take it to...
Rent control.
Right. Do you think that on that day they're going to call a bailiff for you? Is there even bailiffs here?
They do have officers.
Let's
rent control has
be serious
officers.
about this thing.
Listen,
I'm just saying,
God,
from
listen.
their perspective, they feel like it is a large commitment that will cost them less in the long run.
But then you pay. There's a thing where you pay 1 month in the last month.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Oh, do they still do that? I know
Yes,
they do
they
1
do.
month. I don't know if they do 1 month in the last month.
They do 1 month
Do you
ahead,
do 1
1
month in
month.
the last month? No.
No.
It's not a thing.
Wow, Charlie. Ghanaians are suffering. We are suffering. I'm telling you.
Usually, you know, when you take a property, they take
The security deposit.
security deposit. So we assume that if you are not paying that 1 month, or maybe your time for repayment or renewal has elapsed, I use it to.
So me, as a
settle for just a
landlord,
month.
that security deposit is for damages.
Yes.
I don't see that as rent. If you leave my property, though, if you decide not to paint and patch up all the holes and do, that's the money that I'm going to use.
That's
that.
exactly
So
how
if
it
you
is.
don't pay your rent, now I'm out of rent money because now I'm paying for your damages and I've lost rent. So I don't even look at that amount as rent at all, and nobody should. It should actually be called a damage deposit.
Right.
That's actually
Because people be doing things.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But Nana, let me ask you something. How did you deal with the agent that wasn't working for you? How did you handle that?
Well, honestly, I just moved.
You just
No, I moved. But I luckily for me, I think around that same period, like I'm saying, there was a friend of my sister they had an apartment that they were renting. So it was, I got the direct connect without an agent. So I just moved.
okay.
From your experience, how transparent are agents in Ghana from what you've seen?
Can you ask me that question?
In between. In between, they're not like she said. It's also in terms of how we are as a people. If they are totally transparent, sometimes I can admit that a client might just sway away from the agent and go directly to the source. So if you are fully transparent, sometimes that occurs. So sometimes they hide a little bit of the details to also protect their interests, which I have no qualms about. But in terms of oh, this place, oh, it's nice, blah, blah, nothing has happened here. Oh, sometimes they can really put you, like, they can lie to you proper. For you just to be convinced that you are in heaven. You get it?
Which is really hell.
Yeah.
But you know, Hannah, the thing is, this is what I say to that question. I feel like culturally, Ghanaians, we don't know how to say no, right?
True.
Because we don't know how to say no, even if the agent can't help you, they would say, oh, Midobeko, knowing very well that they can't deliver. So that is my problem. I think it's a cultural
It's a cultural issue, rather.
right? You know, Ghanaians, when you call somebody, oh, I need help, or I need you for you to do this,
Just
they
say
know,
you can't do it.
but they won't say, I can't do
They'll
it.
take you round and round. You'll
what I
find out yourself that they can't do it.
No, but my thing is that why then waste my time? Because you know clearly from the onset you can't do it. Tell me, Charlie.
I think, like you said, it's just the inability to say no. And I
No,
don't know where that
how
even
Ruth
comes
was saying,
from.
Ruth will say, okay, you know what, Charlie, come up with your budget a bit, or up your budget, or whatever. They would say, okay, you know what,
I'll speak to the owner.
let me find something else for you. And then she's just wasting your time.
So, see, can I come?
Yeah, of course you can.
At Shelter Martin, we will send you options before you move.
Okay.
You need to just trust us that the picture that we are giving to you is what it says.
But how do I trust it?
You just need to
Because like Hannah was saying, she went to a place where there was more. Because the thing is that,
Were you dealing with an institution or you were dealing with an individual?
It was actually a developer.
but Ruth, the thing is that, to be honest,
Developers, they have just a few properties.
Oh, some have
Unless
developments,
Yes.
multiple developments that they have built, and then they subsequently manage units on behalf of owners.
Exactly.
So they have a wide range. I think that was clearly a facility management issue that had lapsed. Or
Ruth, to be fair, the average Ghanaian, right,
Okay.
may not be able to afford an institution.
Why?
Even if the
but
stigma.
they don't charge viewing fees.
Mindset.
No, but so then the mindset, the stigma is that, hey, may call institution. I mean to me, because I'm entering your office, there's air conditioned, there's this, there's that.
It is a
How
bad
come?
misconception.
I think he
actually.
said they took 10%.
Yes. No, but what he's saying is true. I get that with institutions and even the single people, usually the percentages are the same. But in the minds
The
of
percentages are not the same.
no, I'm
Is
just
it
I'm
more
just saying.
with you guys?
No,
It's
not.
But
It's not
the-
10%.
No.
It's less.
But see, the thing is that, no, you know something, would you, somebody who wants a single room self-contained, would your outfit help them?
We do that. If I don't have, me personally, if I don't have, I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste mine. I'll tell you at the moment, I don't have such options.
No, but what I'm saying is that, mami bi oton wache, and now mami oton stay.
We are here for everybody.
No, but the thing is that they don't know that. Everybody, they don't know that you service them. So they'll rather go with the neighborhood guy who knows all the landlords. And that's the problem. Because with the institutions, you think that, okay, they handle mostly commercial, or if I'm buying a $400,000, $500,000 home, that's all you do. But the question is, if I'm looking for a place, my budget is 600 CDs or 400 CDs, would an institution waste their time to come and service me?
So before the institution as a whole, you are also an individual. You go to church, you go to the gym, you go to parties.
Right.
So you have a lot of engagements. People talk to you as you. So I'm talking to you as
Right.
you. You are talking to me as Ruth.
Right.
Even though my company,
You can't help it.
even though
Inside joke, guys. Inside joke.
even though as Shelter Mat is a company on its own, I am Ruth. I go to church with you. If you need something, you come to me. Ruth, I want a place. I'm moving out. Definitely, you come. Maybe it's chamber hall or single room. You ask for my help. So I
Or would
will
you
now
have the
take it to
data? Would you have the
company.
database of single room self-contained?
We do, but usually availability of it is what is scarce.
Okay.
A lot of people are not moving from their place.
Especially those types of places.
Exactly.
Because the rents are not jumping dramatically.
Really?
And
so
they are
people want
okay.
to maintain that.
Their place. So
Yeah.
usually it will be very difficult for me to give you a time frame that I'll get something for you. That might be the challenge, but that doesn't mean that because your money is 600, it's still money.
But you know something, that brings me to a good point. We all know there's an issue with housing. How bad is the housing deficit?
Should I say it's really that bad? Because in as much as we say, do you know that a developer can put up a building within the next few months? You think the place is vacant, but by the time you go there on your next visit,
It's already
gone.
occupied.
No,
The same
but
2
what I also
years-
know is that a lot of these developments, fancy developments, are almost empty.
But
You see the same 2 years you are complaining about. Somebody else is ready to pay today. So we're going to tell a landlord that 2 years is too much. Can you please calm down? The landlord will tell us that someone even came here yesterday and says they'll come back on Monday to come and pay. You think that they are bluffing. But then you visit the property and then in the next few days or few weeks, and actually someone
there's
has taken
definitely
it.
that. But just to go back to what George is saying, people are putting up these developments in certain locations. And they understand that this place can command this amount of rent. People are making huge mistakes when it comes to, so for example, let's just say someone says, and I'm just calling this figure because it's just a figure. Let's just say someone is renting this 2-bedroom apartment for $2,000 a month. As far as he's concerned, that's everybody's getting $2,000 in the area. So he's put 30 apartments up and this is how much they're going for. Someone comes, look, I've got 1,500. That's what I can do. And he'll say no. And the property will sit there for 6 months.
Thank you.
So that 1,500, he could have taken that 1,500.
He said no.
But he
That's
said
right.
no. And now he's lost 6 months worth of rent because he's waiting on that $2,000. I don't know if it's that we're just not good business people. I don't know if it's a group. I don't know what the issue is.
Where
but it's
I'm
happening all
coming
over.
from, where I'm even coming from is that it seems like most of the developers, if not all of them, are now developing for the wealthy.
Yeah, there's no more
So,
affordable housing.
that's what I
And
mean.
If you
So-
want affordable housing, you have to go to Kaswa and outside.
No, but what I'm saying is that
No,
why,
that's how they're doing it.
Why is that nobody is developing for people like myself, for NYB, because if you're looking for a space to live, and 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? We've all been educated now. We know what's available. We know comforts and stuff like that. So the level of what do you call it? Being comfortable has gone up, right? So why can't that happen for the middle class to?
Honestly, I just feel they don't think it's profitable enough. You have to also remember how much land is costing these days. The amount that land has appreciated over the last 5 years. It's no joke. So if you didn't get your land early, you're paying heaps for this amount of land. So you can't even afford, even if you wanted to, you have the heart to do affordable housing. On that piece of land, you can't do that.
And also the cost of building has become very expensive.
Expensive.
Here's the thing, though. I know that the Ministry of Housing or whatever they call it, they were doing some affordable housing, right? With that, do agents get to sell that, or who does that?
No.
Agents don't sell that at all.
So, from my experience, I think that with affordable housing, they sell to, unless the individual wants to sell, because after buying from
Whoever built,
entity
developed,
or-
okay.
unless the individual wants to sell, then the agent can sell.
Okay.
So yeah, I have a property like that. I've sold properties like that, but not from the
Directly
people who built
from-
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So maybe someone bought it and now they want to resell.
Then
So,
they
yeah,
can
we
use it.
do that.
Do you know what? It's really sad because when you look at developments like SNIT, there's
Baltimore.
house like the one I know is Adenta. I think there's another one in
Baltimore.
no, I don't know that one. There's
There's
another one
at
in
Baltimore, there's one at
There's one in
Pram.
Tema.
no, there's another one at You know Atomic Runabout, when you're going to that side, there's another
I
one.
don't know that one.
Oh, it's Snit owned. It's like
George, you said we don't know it.
but my thing is that those are amazing developments,
Yeah.
but it's not maintained
They're not
properly.
maintaining it.
That's true.
It's so sad. Like, it really, really is sad. Because I think if we had a lot more of those things, it would service.
So let me ask you. So you are potentially going into development.
Yes, I am.
But that's not the area that you're trying to develop.
To be honest with you, so
No, I'm just saying not to. I'm just saying no, but you're doing what everybody does.
here's the thing. To be very honest, I'm having a very, very intentional meeting with my business partners,
Sure,
trying to come up with a product
sure.
that would be able to serve and satisfy somebody who, the mom and pop, the person making 2,000 Ghana cedis a month. Because they deserve nice places to live
100%.
as well.
100%.
They don't always have to be in a one-bedroom self-contained. Like,
We
come
need to move
on.
on from that
Yes,
now.
we do. We do.
Someone needs to. So
We do.
any developers out there who are looking for a new potential project.
Because I
those are
feel that
things
there's
to
a
think
need
about.
for it.
There's demand for it.
If Despite can sell this way chocolate drink to the masses, why can't a developer develop for the masses?
Well, to touch on that, for someone who grew up at Sakmono Estate, the affordable housing that you've been mentioning, I think you've been using the word affordable, but
It's not even affordable anymore.
It's not even affordable. And
Yeah.
if government cannot provide affordable housing, I doubt a private developer was going to provide
But
that.
I understand that the government was trying to subsidize these properties. And I remember looking at the document, and I think it was like for $35,000 per unit. Multiply that by, what's the dollar rate now? 17, 16?
16.8.
How was that
16.5.
how was that
It's not
affordable
affordable.
to somebody making 2,000 CDs,
It's not.
3,000? What's the minimum wage now? No, but seriously, so I get out of university, right? And I want a place of my own. How am I going to be able to afford that?
But you do
can't.
realize that it's not just the Ghanaian property market that is like that. Don't get me wrong, in other countries there are schemes and things, but it's not like in other countries all the young people that come out of university or get their first job can jump on the property ladder. It's an economic situation
No, but
that I
Hannah,
think is...
you can rent a property
Yeah, for sure.
that is going to be very comfortable
Sure.
for you, right? So I remember when I finished school, I got my first place. It's a 2-bedroom, right? And it was comfortable. It was
Pay for
my
it
own.
yourself.
No.
Yeah. So,
But what I'm saying, is that it was comfortable, right? It made sense. Like, it made
simple,
me,
but-
and I remember a funny story. I moved in. I didn't know that I had to connect gas and I had to connect this and that and that. So I remember at night, it was so cold. And what I used to do was legit. I used to go to the kitchen, turn on the oven, and I would sleep in front of the oven. Yes, because I didn't know I didn't know that I had to go connect the gas for heat and all that stuff. But if that was available in Ghana, I think that a lot more people would not be staying at home.
I do also feel that the government has a certain responsibility that they're just not taking.
You think so?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I believe there's a lot of things government can do. Because let's say, imagine.
But everything can be the government.
No,
It can't be, but it has. If the government are not willing to look after their people, how are you asking individuals to come and look after? They can only do so much. One person cannot. Someone can go and buy some land over here. There's only a certain amount of people in the grand scheme of things. They haven't done anything.
But can I be honest with you? And I'm not trying to say I'm not I'm out of touch or whatever the case may be. But I visited Apapa, right, in Labadi. What was being offered was so bad. Like a 1-bedroom It was so bad. Like, I was like, how are people able to live like this?
Again, lack of regulations though, because if this property is on the rental market and being offered to people,
the thing is
there
that
should be
as
something in
agents,
place that says that no, as a bare minimum, there needs to be X, Y, and Z. That doesn't exist.
it's quite sad.
So it's basically take what you can get. That's the attitude. So it's like, where do you start?
But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying, that people are so desperate for somewhere to live
They're just taking
that
it.
they were like, okay, I'll just take it.
I'll manage it.
It's sometimes the price.
That's
Say
what
it
they
again?
can afford.
Sometimes the price.
No, but okay, even if I'm paying 300 cedis a month, right? Give me a decent space. Like, I walked into a friend's apartment. No, I won't even call it an apartment. A 1-bedroom, self-contained. You couldn't open the door
Why not?
completely.
Why? Because it was small?
His fridge, he had a fridge.
Was behind
The
the
fridge
door.
was outside the apartment. And what they considered a bathroom, I'm an obese guy. I wouldn't fit in that. I wouldn't fit in that bathroom. And the bathroom had a toilet and a shower on top of, and I was just like,
Literally on top of each other. Well,
and then agents will sell the place, take their commission, and move on.
no, but the problem is,
But
they wouldn't be.
This is what she said.
No, but that's what I was actually about to say. I was about to say, if nobody was taking that, they would not be able to rent them.
But let me ask you a question.
There are
though.
takers.
I just listen. You saw okay.
I'm
so
not saying it's right.
I rent
I'm
this.
not saying
Wait,
so.
but
Right.
wait. I rent this. You show me the space. I like it. I rent it. When I'm having issues with my landlord, do you come in to help?
That's not their job.
My job
Their
was
job
to
is
look
just
for
to-
you
that's
the
it.
place for you. And I did.
That's not
Until
their
the
job.
point you make the payments and then you're okay with your tenancy agreement and everything.
So as agents, you do nothing with, because I've heard horror
When
stories.
you say nothing, before or after?
My renting space, 3 months into it, my thing is leaking. I'm calling my landlord. My landlord is not minding me. Meanwhile, you've taken my money, you've taken my commission.
As a goodwill
3 months
gesture,
after.
I would expect them to if
Not even 3
someone
months, this is 6
personally-
months, 7 months after.
7 months.
Ruth is like, we don't know you by that time.
He's like,
What do you
"You're
mean?
kind, you're
7 months?
But do you understand what I'm saying? I'm having issues with the space you showed me that I
due
picked.
diligence. That's where due diligence comes
No, but
in.
this is the case.
Who
where
does the due
after
diligence?
fact-
Short term, see, before we give you a property, before you pay for the property, do you know that there are certain things that you need to look out for?
Of course.
You need to look out for a lot of things. It's not just because you've seen the place and the place is good, you want to quickly go and make payment.
Yeah.
We usually sometimes tell you to wait for us to check if the place is in a good state. So, for instance, yesterday we had a viewing with someone. She took her pen and a paper and she was just jotting down, okay, I want them to change the tap. She checked the tap and it wasn't really
Wobbly.
screwed. Yeah, she said, I want this change. She said, okay, you stepped on the carpet. I want them to clean the carpet for me. She checked the couch. She said the couch is so dirty. She had them on paper and then she sent it to us. So these are things that we would look out for that the owner would fix or the management of the property would fix before our client will be made to make payment, or so that the agent, so that the owner of the property too doesn't lose, will say make part payment, a commitment payment, so that the owner of the property will know that, okay, I'm going to do this works with
Based
my
on
own
the
money,
commitment.
but you are going to take it. So make sure that all those things are done, all those things are settled before you move in.
Sure.
You understand? So you just, the agent getting you the property, and then they'll tell you, those one-man people, they'll tell you, oh, Tia went Tia Obi. Please check for a lot of things before you.
No, I get what you're saying. But what I'm asking is,
The 7 months.
no, 7 months. I'm saying that because I'm sure there are horror stories that you've experienced with your landlord and everything, right?
Yeah, definitely.
When you're going through that problem with your landlord and you can't get any headway with your landlord, you showed me the property. You were the person that introduced me to the property. So assuming I was looking for property, Hannah introduced me to a property. I'm like, oh, Hannah, thank you very much, da, 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 da. And then I'm living there, I'm having issues. Obviously, I have a point person. You, the agent, were my point person. But you're telling me that after you pay and you get your money, you move on. I don't know you don't know me. How?
I can still go ahead. It depends on the relationship.
So that's what I was saying.
I can still go to the landlord to speak
it's
to
just
the
a phone
landlord.
call.
Yeah, oh, my client says this, and now, oh, please, can you please assist with this and that? Yeah,
But it's not really. It's not
an agent conversation.
Exactly.
I think that's more rent control, but that's where the non-functioning rent control.
It's not their responsibility.
It's
so just while we're closing, in closing, I want to ask, in hindsight, do you think working with an agent added value to your home search process, or would you consider other options next time?
Well, for me, I think with my mindset, I believe agents are an important part of the real estate business. They are an essential part because they do a lot of the heavy lifting. You get it. So what I would recommend is, I think there needs to be regulation. That sector is not regulated. Anyone can become an agent by day. And I think that is the kind of things we need, regulation, to kind of streamline the services, because we cannot do without
The
agents.
I agree. Thank you. And Ruth, my last question to you would be, is there anything that you wish clients understood about the agent's role that might make the process smoother on either side?
That's a very good one. Client needs to understand that it's not all about the commission. We are serving your interest. In as much as we are serving your interest, we are also serving the interest of the owner. So we need to be in the middle. We'll give you, how do I put it? You need to trust. That's what I'll say. You still need to trust your agents to deliver.
Trust how? You're taking my money, say trust.
You know, you have to build a certain kind of
Rapport
with the client for the client to trust you. So if you don't build that relationship with the client, definitely the client will not trust you. Like, oh, the narco property back home, the client wasn't really impressed, so this thing will be shaky. But clients need to understand a lot of things, that the agent is there to serve your interest. It's not all about the money. If I get you something that you like, we'll close the business sharp. So, yeah, I think that's.
But can I be honest with you though? On a personal note, if you're going to show me property and you're an agent and your car is not nicer than mine.
Oh, George.
Listen.
Oh, goodness
Forget it.
me.
The worst is if you come and you are walking and I'm driving.
What kind of statement is this?
Listen.
What kind of statement
No, because
is this?
you have
How
to
does
be,
that have anything to do
Their
with
car
the
has to
service
be-
that they
NYB.
provide for you?
Am I lying?
No, what does that have to do
No,
with
here's something. You're going to show me something. Like you're
Yeah.
showing me level.
Yeah.
And my level is higher than yours. Forget it.
But then maybe then choose another agent then.
That's what I'm saying. So for me,
But that's a you issue. That's not a them issue.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that on a personal level, if I reach out to an agent and the person is showing me property or whatever, and they come, like the girl that was in the
So
Uber
what do you
like
want them
this.
to do? Sir, please, which car are you driving first before we know if we can show you? Like, what do you? I don't get. How does that even
No,
work?
or you come and you're not, like, I'm not impressed.
Aesthetically.
Forget it.
What about the agent? What if they're just
No.
like this guy? But that's another thing.
What
That's
if they are all dressed up
the
and then they don't have
stereotyping.
anything?
We
but you
talked
know
about this
something?
the other day.
It's the reverse is not the case.
No, because it can be, because you look like you're about to waste my time. I
No,
brought you to a
Hannah,
$3,000
but Hannah,
property,
here's the
and
thing.
you've come with your nightwear. The shirt has
Hannah,
food
no, here's-
stains
no,
on it.
here's
You
the
don't
thing.
care about yourself. How are you going to care about?
The reverse is the case, right? I can be very unassuming. I'm
Yeah.
the one with the money coming to buy.
As far as I know, as far as you've told me, but not as far as I can see.
But that's where you need to deduce.
I'm just saying it works
because
both
for
ways.
me though, if you're going to
But you
show
also
me,
need to give them a chance to deduce whether they are capable of attending to your needs in the way that
When
you would
you
like.
come and you're sweating and you're drinking pure water.
Somebody who's driving a better car than you, do you think they're coming to come and crocker you? George, someone who's driving a better car than you, dressed better than you, do you think they're coming to crocker you?
No, but at that point.
No, I'm asking, do you think they're coming to...
No. I know that
If your
they're
agent is driving a better car than you,
Say it again.
if your agent is driving a better car than you will deal with the agent.
100%.
Wow.
Because only maybe it will shake me. I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with.
You will run away.
No.
That they are going to take your money.
I don't. Here's the thing.
He doesn't care.
No.
These kind of people, they're easy to dupe, you know. You be there.
No.
If it's just aesthetic.
But the alternative.
They're going for the best at packaging.
The alternative though is
Let's
that
go and rent
I see
a Land
you're
Cruiser
sweating.
from down the
Listen,
You get
your black shirt is almost red.
dressy shepherd.
What does it I'm saying yes. Ekuye.
But you said they
Definitely.
shouldn't pick an Uber. I don't drive.
Ruth, he's basically saying you couldn't be his agent.
Yes.
In another,
No, I
he's
don't
just
drive.
But
he's
the thing is
telling you
that no.
point
See,
blank
the thing is that
period.
no.
You could
But
not
see,
be his
you're
agent.
dressed beautifully.
Yeah, but she's
And so
coming in
that
an Uber.
that I would say okay, you know what, cool.
Even though she's in an Uber.
Depends on the Uber though. Is it Uber Comfort?
Uber, do we choose it?
Yes, you do.
Oh, you can choose like.
But at the end of the day, they
is it
just
not the same
come.
car, but just
There's
an AC?
No, they have Uber, the bigger ones, and they have the smaller ones. They do in a car. When Yango has Yango Select or whatever.
Have you seen the cars? Sometimes, no matter what,
You
like
hear the
pick
car before you see the
luxury.
car at times.
No, but all I'm saying is that for me, my
Aesthetics
agent.
is a big
Listen,
thing.
if my agent comes in Chalawati, forget it.
No agent is going to come with
Chalawati.
Chalawati.
If they're
Some
a serious
do.
agent,
Unless you are not dealing with an agency.
that's a one-man band situation, and you get what you get.
That's why I'm
really.
talking about the
Deal with
250,
me.
300 people.
Thank you. So anyway, thank you so much to our listeners
This
for
was fun,
joining
actually.
this discussion. We hope it's been productive for you, and we hope that you've been able to pick up a few things, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
This was
you so
lovely.
much. Don't mind George.